His story has ended. But what about yours? Before you write your own story, choose the vessel of your power. A woman who wields a sword boldly. Saber, standard. A young woman clothed in crimson raiment with the mannerisms of a man. This servant is best suited for novice players. A stoic warrior clothed in red robes. Archer, technical. A person of military mien with an enigmatic air wrapped in a red cloak. This servant is for players who want to use a variety of skills. A magical fox girl. Caster, maniac. A half-demon shaman clad in revealing robes. This servant is for players who want to be challenged by facing true adversity in battle. Zero segment, LVL. Where is the belfry? In that moment, gentle days end. 0 days remaining. Morning. I always awaken very abruptly. I don't even think I dream. I suddenly find myself walking to school. My headache worsens day by day until it finally buzzes in my head like an alarm. That day, in potent numbness, I wake up twice as fast as normal. I walk to the schoolyard. It's clear and cloudless, 7:30 a.m. But what season is it? When I try to recall what season it is, I start to get so dizzy I almost pass out. I may wind up back in bed if I let go and faint. For some time I have been embracing a rush of useless information. The normal stuff you'd see at a school, like the hustle and bustle of my classmates by the entrance. It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. When I push the thought, my field of vision fizzles. Today, again today, there's a crowd of students milling in front of the school gate, and more are being directed that way. As to what's going on, there's a boy in a black uniform in front of the school gate. He's my friend, as I recall. He's Issei Ryudo, as I recall. I remember this from the first time. When Issei notices me looking at him, he pushes through the crowd. Good morning. Lovely weather we're having, don't you think? Why do you look so surprised? We announced at last week's assembly that this month the student council would strictly enforce school rules. He runs through his spiel as if this was the first time he'd ever disclosed the information. I already know this. I know it. I already know what happens. It's happened more than once. I'm seized by a headache. I'm so dizzy I feel like I'm being forcibly logged out of my consciousness. First, let me check your student ID. I shouldn't need to remind you, but it should be on you at all times. My login ID is being checked. It's so obvious now. I answer clearly to the question that usually makes me go dizzy. We're going to have to shove the letters together a bit here to actually fit the full name of this character. Oh yes. That's what I did. Nope. There we go. And then I'll put in my own nickname. Great. There's no telling when an emergency might occur, and it will be a help if you have your ID. I feel nauseous, and I know it has nothing to do with what I ate for breakfast this morning. I feel nauseous because of the world around me. It's repeating itself over and over, and that's making me sick. Now for the uniform inspection. Collar, check. Pant hems, check. And your socks, check. I want him to get out of my way. I want this repetition to stop. I push him aside and go forward. I'm not nice about it either. Next is the contents of your bag. Notebooks, textbooks, pencil box, not even a whiff of contraband. Your nails are evenly cut, and your haircut is sensible. Indeed, quite remarkable. You're a model Tsukimihara Academy student. He keeps on talking loudly, even though he's facing no one. I have a headache. I'm shivering. I know one thing for sure. This is wrong. This is not the school I know. It can't be. I have to go. I have to hurry and wake up, or else it will be too late. But who am I awakening for? Evening. My anxiety and headaches are only getting worse. Afternoon arrives while I desperately try to find a way to escape this bizarre situation. As is now the norm, my vision is overlaid with some kind of unnatural distortion. Uneasiness, futility, emptiness. I want someone to explain to me the true nature behind all of these feelings. There must be a key somewhere, something that will have the answers to all of my questions. Man, where is everyone? It's like a ghost town around here. Things are getting weird. That Leo guy, where in the heck did he go? I never thought he'd be the type to ditch class. So, we're back. I think I'm good to exit spooky mode now. We got all these library books. Oh, so yeah, we're gonna still be talking to all the peeps. We got Alice. Hey mister, let's have tea together sometime. This is the multimedia room. Let's see. The door to the rooftop is locked. Do not enter. Oh, there's Leo. Oh, there's us. The moment I step foot on the first floor, my feelings of unease intensify. There is a student wearing a red uniform, Leo, the new transfer student. The instant I lay eyes on him, I immediately feel intimidated and humiliated. There is also someone trailing behind him. It looks like one of my classmates. The more I think, the more I realize that Leo isn't the only anomaly I've come across while on campus. There are other things that seem off as well. It's becoming clearer now. There are people who shouldn't exist, students that mysteriously vanish. The fabric of reality is coming unraveled. Don't turn away now. What is the truth? Don't turn away now. What defines the world you know? Don't turn away now. There is a reason why you're here. Come, do not allow yourself to close your eyes to the truth. When I approached the entrance, a sudden burst of distortion ripped through me. It felt like my body was going to be torn apart. Attempting to go any farther would be suicidal. I should turn around now. I should turn around. Nurse's office. Feel people inside. Door. Sudden burst of distortion. Don't go. Oh, fine, game, if you say so. So yeah, we're not allowed to leave. Save again real quick. Leo and one of the guys from my class are talking in the hallway up ahead. The attention to detail is quite impressive. Even the surrounding air is surprisingly substantial. If that is the case, this world is in some ways more real than the real world it represents. How about it, you guys? What are your thoughts on this? You guys? For a moment, it feels as if he is including me in his comment. However, Leo begins speaking to my classmate, seemingly oblivious to my presence. Greetings. I believe this is the first time we've had an actual conversation. Leo gives me a smile with no hostility. However, I have the suspicion that there is something malicious behind his smile. Attending school wasn't half bad. I've never had the opportunity to go to one before now. In that respect, this has been quite an interesting experience. However, the time for fun has come to an end. I did not come here to play at being a student. No matter how enjoyable a detour, eventually one must return to their appointed path. And for me, the time to do so has arrived. With those final words, Leo turns his back on me. Farewell. No, that's not quite right. I don't think farewell would be accurate in this situation. For reasons I cannot explain, I have the distinct feeling that we will see each other again. So I guess I should use the more congenial, see you later. Well, it's time for me to move on. I wish you the best of luck. Leo said as much, even going so far as to look in my direction. For some inexplicable reason, I'm not surprised that Leo knew I was spying on him. I'm trying to get things straightened out in my mind when Leo suddenly disappears. The student who is following him also disappears after touching the same spot on the wall. At the same moment he vanishes, my vision distorts and the shock threatens to overwhelm me. What is going on here? I wonder if this place is the source of my unease. Like him, I place my hand on the wall, expecting to be drawn in. I see now that the way to the truth, to why I have these feelings, begins right here. I want to know. The atmosphere changes. There's a doorway, an entrance, where the concrete wall used to be. It's not something of this world. There's no doubt this door leads to someplace unfathomable. I bid farewell to the false world and take my first step toward the truth. An entrance to another world. Beyond this door, the previous statement perfectly describes the view before me. Walking behind me is my strange, silent attendant. It is to be my sword and shield for what lies ahead, A disembodied voice suddenly confirms my thoughts. Although I have yet to learn anything, I need to do something besides stand here. At the very least, there might be some clues to this bizarre experience up ahead. I have no choice but to head into the darkness, with only this strange doll as protection. No longer a typical school campus. The floors and walls, the air, even the aura are slightly off. It wouldn't surprise me to see a monster pop out from the shadows. It's very much like a dungeon here. Welcome, potential master. With a shocking suddenness, a voice begins speaking. It sounds like it's coming from the empty sky above. If you are looking for answers, you must reach the goal. Now please step forward. Cube. The illuminated cube in front of you is called an item folder. Inside of it is a farewell present of sorts for those about to face the coming trial. Touch it to open it. Cube. Touch. Obtained ether shard. We cannot save here. Orb. Before you is an enemy program. It is programmed to attack on sight. Touching it will initiate a battle. But you won't actually fight as you are too fragile. The effigy given to you will fight in your stead. If your effigy is ever destroyed in battle, you will no longer be shielded from harm. To put it bluntly, you will die, so be very careful in battle. But there's no need to be afraid, for now. Just do what I say and you'll be perfectly safe for the time being. First off, why don't I explain a little bit about battles? First of all, there are 3 basic commands that you can issue in battle: attack, guard, and break. Each turn in battle is composed of 6 actions, and you'll need to tell your effigy what your strategy is to be. Battles are divided into turns, with 6 commands being issued each turn. Once confirmed, will be executed all at once. The enemy before you should be quite easy to defeat, as it will only perform Break. Break, which is focused solely on power, shouldn't be much of a problem against Attack. Now, use the Attack command to destroy the program. Use the directional buttons to choose a command and then press X to confirm your selection. Enter 6 attack commands using the up directional button and then press X to annihilate the enemy. Fine, I will. First fight. Watcher. Attack. Extra turn. and we are God Gamers. So, how did it go? One thing to know is that in each turn, you'll have to plan a series of 6 moves that will defeat your foe. The goal is still far ahead. If you must bask in the afterglow of your victory, do so while moving forward. You can overcome break by using the attack command. Waddle, 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 waddling along. Oh look, here comes another program. You seem nervous. Perhaps you're anxious about fighting in another battle. Do not be alarmed. That enemy isn't strong enough to harm you. It is programmed to only use attack. While attack is a potent action, using guard will allow you to defend and then counterattack. Guard can be used to reduce the damage caused by an enemy attack, but I trust you know this. Guard will not only block an opponent's attack command, but will also unleash a devastating counterattack. Now that you know how this battle will unfold, use the appropriate commands to defeat the enemy program. Tracer. So we guard, then we guard again. Then we guard. Then to change it up, we're gonna guard. And then we guard. And then we guard. And I think that's a pretty good combo. An alternate reality. So yeah, I'm the best video gamer ever. Yep. Yes, that's exactly right. As you may have already noticed, performing 3 successful actions in a row results in a chain. By performing multiple chain attacks, you can perform a devastating follow-up attack on your opponent. If you land 3 strikes in a row, you will perform an extra attack, which is a special additional attack. While doing multiple chain attacks in the heat of battle may be difficult, the results make it worth the effort. Now please proceed. Waddle, 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 this is the waddle song. Waddling here and waddling there. You should be used to the fundamentals of battle at this point, but I'll walk you through this one last time. This program will only use guard and do nothing in battle but defend against harm. But no matter how stout one's defense may be, it will be for naught against the break command. You can shatter the enemy's guard command by using break. Remember, always use the appropriate command for any given situation. Here we do full break against Enforcer. So you get that nice shield shattering animation. And there we go. You have been through 3 battles and have used the attack, guard, and break commands. Someone as intuitive and observant as you must have already noticed this. Each of the 3 attacks balances each other out, creating a situation where no attack is dominant. The 3 battle commands, attack, break, and guard, all have immutable relationships with one another. What I just covered is the absolute basics of battle, and the minimum info you'll need to know. Once you master the basics, all that's left is to test yourself in battle and gain valuable experience. Now, please proceed. Waddling everywhere. This is the Waddle song. All of the enemy programs you faced so far only used one move, which won't happen in a real fight. Like you, your enemies will choose their actions based on the situation and general observation. Their actions will be very difficult for you to predict at first. As you face the same enemy multiple times, you will be able to read their tendencies and patterns accurately. When you first enter a battle, your opponent's moves will be mostly hidden from you. Being able to guess your opponent's moves with only a limited amount of info is the key to victory. Although considering your lack of fighting experience, I may be expecting far too much from you. But anyway, please try your best. So yeah, folks at home, first off, welcome to episode 5, and secondly, the battle system in this game is rock, paper, scissors, but you gotta try and predict your opponent's moves by reading their patterns and what they like to do. So we got shown the first 3 moves that they'll do, so we get an extra turn here, but then did I do the second half right? It looks like yes I did, and that is Pylon Soul defeated. So yeah, very frequently they'll do 3 moves and then they'll repeat that same 3 moves. But what's shown to you isn't always just all the moves or the first 3 or anything like that. Sometimes you don't see any of their moves and you just have to go in blind. Good job. Alright then, please proceed to the final room. Waddle into the abyss. Waddle into heaven. Waddle into where no one's ever seen. Oh, we're back to Kingdom Hearts. I made it. At the end of a very long road, after going through a door that suddenly appeared in the wall. The oppressive air of this place, where the spirits of the dead still linger. Here's my goal, that's what I thought. Further in, it appears as if someone had collapsed. When I look into his face, it's the student who was following Leo just now. I call out to him, but get no reply. I shake him in an attempt to wake him up when I notice he is stone cold. I go as pale as the corpse before me, and I can no longer think coherently. All I can do is stare in bewilderment. It is at this moment. The fallen effigy lying next to the male student comes to its feet with a clatter. After having to fight several enemy programs to get here, it's obvious that this thing is an enemy as well. Without warning, it suddenly twists around and comes right at me. First boss, unknown. Yeah, we have no skills. We have 1 item which restores a small amount of our servant's HP. Well, let's see here. So, I'll just attack, break, attack, guard, attack, attack. Let's see. Got him. He got him. Oh. Oh, so sad. And now he gets an extra turn. So yeah, we'll just go full attack, because it'd be funny. Oh no, I lost. And now I'm Dead. Well, time for our third player character. You seem to be lacking as well. I can hear the sound of a distant voice. The time has come. With your inevitable loss, I will consider this round of preliminaries to be over. Farewell. I pray you'll find peace in your annihilation. That is the voice's final words to me. I don't have the power to protest. All I can do is stare at the floor. I think I'm going to die here. Suddenly, at the edge of my now hazy vision, a number of brown-colored lumps seemed to rise from the ground. Actually, it might be that I just noticed them now. They may have been there from the beginning for all I know. Those lumps are the bodies of an untold number of fallen Sukumihara Academy students. The guy before me wasn't the only one to fall. All of the others made it here and died, unable to do anything. And in a very short while, I suppose I'll become one of them. Maybe I should just close my eyes now. I did all that I could, so maybe it'd be better for it to end now. I refuse to give up. I haven't saved in a while, so I'm not gonna go for an extra ending here. I summon all of my strength in an attempt to get back on my feet. However, as I try to move, an unbearably intense pain shoots through my entire body. If that's how it's going to be, no, if this is... I still refuse to give up. I don't want it to end like this. I cannot ignore the intense pain coursing through my body. I've reached a point where I no longer see stars as my eyes feel like they're on fire. I feel like all 5 of my senses are being ripped from my body. I'm afraid. I'm afraid of the pain. I'm afraid of losing my senses. I'm afraid of becoming a corpse. And the most terrifying thing, disappearing without a trace for any reason at all. It's not right that I disappear here. My consciousness, shot through with waves of distortion, screams out against the injustice of it all. What was the purpose of suffering through those headaches just to fade away here and now? What were they all for if I just fade away here and now? I have to stand up. It's okay if I'm scared. It's okay if I'm in pain. I have to rise above all of that. Because I have yet to fight off. I have yet to fight of my own volition and on my own terms. Indeed, you must embrace your fear of death and fight on regardless what fate may await you. Well spoken, nameless traveler. Even if the world will never hear of your desire, know that I admire and respect it. Close your hands into fists and raise your head. Your end has yet to come. In fact, your destiny begins now. The sound of breaking glass is accompanied by a light cutting through the gloom. I manage to move my weird body and aching head to see what's happening. I didn't notice it before, but something was slowly rising up from the floor in the middle of the room. That form. Its appearance isn't much different from that of a human being, but something was different, clearly so. The power emanating from it transcended that of any human, or of any enemy I faced in getting here. An awesome power that seems as if it'd vaporize anyone it touched, swirls within my body almost against my will. Now then, I shall ask you once more, answer me. Are you my master? Yes. Your words are few but beautiful. I like that. I won't ask you how privileged you feel for summoning me. Alright. I give my blessing. I will bestow upon you the honor of being my master. She takes a hold of my hand and helps me to my feet. From the hand she had grabbed comes a sudden warmth, and then a sharp pain, like I'd been cut by a knife. On the back of my hand, as though tattooed, is a strange symbol that looks like some kind of crest. Totally confused, I alternate between staring at the mark on my hand and the person standing before me. And then a noise behind me brings me back to my senses. Turning around, I see that the effigy from before is still there, now in a fighting stance. I wince uncontrollably, recalling my previous defeat at its hands. What an excitable master I have. Why are you so flustered? While I am by your side, have no fear that you may lose your way. Remember that victory is all that matters. My blade is the ultimate instrument. Even the muses themselves would bow before the sound it makes. Master, strike with my sword. Show me the extent of your abilities in this first battle. Fight! Level 2. Master MP, Servant HP, Servant MP, skill points. The battered effigy stops moving. There's no way it'll still function after being effectively torn apart. That wasn't entertaining at all. Considering how long I've waited for such a moment, I am truly unsatisfied. She continues to talk. However, the sound of her voice doesn't quite reach my ears. The heat coming from the mark on my hand grew in intensity during the fight, and the resulting pain has become unbearable and burns through my consciousness. The mark imprinted on your hand is your command seal. It is proof that you hold dominion over a servant. You can use it to give 3 orders that must be obeyed. Think of them as disposable strengthening spells. It is also proof of your participation in the Holy Grail War. If you lose it for some reason, you will die. Once again, I hear that voice. I somehow manage to ignore the pain and listen to what it has to say. I can understand your confusion, but before I forget, congratulations. You have endured much to make it here. Now rest for a while. You've achieved your first goal. It was an incredibly clumsy effort to say the least, but that's what made it all the more interesting. I've had this duty for a long time, but this first time I've seen a master as helpless as you. Nevertheless, be proud of your achievement. Your quick thinking came as a result of nerves and rashness. Thinking about it, the voice sounds like that of a 30-year-old man, and it's really irritatingly smug. For some reason, I can see the owner of the voice as a priest, dressed in a somber cassock. Oh, you are curious about my identity? I am honored, but I am insignificant. I am merely a part of the system. I am just a guide, tasked with giving a standard message and given the personality of a prior participant. I am no more than words, no more than the mountain you just conquered, no more than a record of the past. A record, so if I raise any objections to this voice, does it mean I won't receive any answers in return? Exactly. Well, this is unexpected. You have received commendation. Something about you having a light. I have no clue who would say such a thing about me. But that short phrase struck my heart because, for some unknown reason, I knew the words were sincere. And as for, I expect good things from you, it seemed like more of a command than an encouragement. Now, let us commence your baptism. You have proven yourself worthy of the honor. For most, the monotony of everyday life continues on without end. Your decision to look beyond the accepted and progress means you have earned the right to exist. However, you have but taken the first step. Be jubilant, young knight, for the Holy Grail War begins now. I have no idea what he's talking about. The Holy Grail War? The right to exist? That is correct. An object of great power once existed in the world, one that could grant any desire. People called it the Holy Grail, and fought endlessly in an attempt to gain sole possession of it. This war, this system you find yourself in now, is an evolution of those struggles. You stand at the entrance of a deadly struggle where many magi will perish in pursuit of the Holy Grail. Listen, magi, had I not bestowed upon the earth desire, you'd be merely saints capable of committing sin. Now, fight to the death. The fiery throne of heaven will only receive those with the strongest of desires. The voice reverberates throughout this hidden chapel, as if it were the voice of a god. Kill? Magi? Holy Grail that grants wishes? These questions and more swirl inside my head and almost seem to carve themselves into my flesh. In war, a weapon is needed. That is your servant, the spear that pierces, the shield that protects. A legendary soul whose purpose is to clear your way to the Grail. That is the one who stands beside you. I glance over at the young woman in red standing next to me, who is looking up into the sky. She is my servant. It seems you have decided, and with that decision as payment, I now open the gates to the Holy Grail War. The marks on my hand, my command seal, once again begin to become excruciatingly painful. It's over. I can't take it anymore. Flop. I never noticed how just ragdoll-y he looks there. I reach the limits of my endurance and my mind starts to shut down. As I lose consciousness, I can vaguely hear the voice's final words. Now, let the Holy Grail War begin. No matter the era, deciding who is worthy through battle is the divine providence of man. Magi who have been invited here by the moon, show me your true strength. Save our progress? Yes. And with that, guys, I think we will be good for today. Hope to see you all next time for round 1, day 1. Bye-bye.